Hello, my name is Martin Tallent, and today I'm going to be talking about Ruby Bridges in this video. At 6 years old, she became one of the first students to desegregate public schools in Louisiana. For many years, the state government and school boards drug their feet on desegregating public schools in Louisiana, as many officials were pro-segregationist and white supremacist and did everything in their power to hamper the integration process through litigation and scare tactics. Although the Brown v. Board of Education case in 1954 struck down segregation in public schools nationally, Louisiana didn't even begin the process until 1960. That year, 4 black first graders would be allowed to attend previously all-white elementary schools in the New Orleans area. Ruby Bridges was one of a handful of children offered one of these positions. Her father was hesitant to let her do this as he was worried about the family's safety, but her mother wanted her to get a better education and also to open the door for other black children in the future. So in the end, it was decided that Ruby would attend the William Frantz Elementary School, which is behind me here, starting in November of 1960. Ruby was driven to school every day by armed federal marshals, as there were white supremacist protesters waiting for her at the school every day, yelling racial slurs and threatening her life. As she was only 6 years old, she didn't fully comprehend what was going on or why these people were so mad at her. In fact, many white people who had children in the school pulled them out after she started attending, and therefore she was left alone in a classroom with one teacher. Although she did like this teacher, Mrs. Henry, who was the only teacher who was willing to take her on as a student at the school. Ruby went through this harassment every day for almost a year, although the protests started to die down after the winter break of 1960. By her second grade year, the protests had completely stopped, and when she was brought to her classroom on the first day of second grade, she found other students there, mostly white, but some other black children also. After graduating high school, she studied tourism and became a travel agent, eventually marrying and having 4 children. In 1993, her brother was unfortunately killed in New Orleans, but it inspired her to begin work with others to help them in their lives. She began volunteering at the William Frantz School as a parent liaison, and around this time in 1995, a children's book was released entitled The Story of Ruby Bridges. She used proceeds from this book to start the Ruby Bridges Foundation, which helped create after-school programs for children in the New Orleans area. Although an important and brave undertaking, Ruby notes that her feat in 1960 didn't actually stop segregation in New Orleans, as many white families moved to the suburbs in a phenomenon known as white flight and started sending their children out there, thus resurrecting segregation in a way. There is still much work to be done in repairing the education system and making it less racist in New Orleans. But Ruby is working with local schools in New Orleans to try to provide children with a better education and more support. Thank you.